Welcome to Vision Academy. In this lecture, I will teach you maximization of assignment problem by Hungarian method. Usually we have to minimize the problem in transportation problem and assignment problem, but there are some special cases in which we have to maximize the assignment problem. It means maybe revenue, profit, whatever. In such cases you have to maximize. So in this case there is a different treatment, so that you will come to know today. Look at here, it is the problem. We have a five salesmen and five district. First of all, it is a squared matrix problem and it's a balanced assignment problem, and along with five salesmen and five district, estimates of sales revenue of salesman are also given below. So now what your task is, find the assignment pattern that maximizes the sales revenue. So we have to maximize the sales revenue. So for, in that pattern we have to assign this. So that's our task. So first of all, let us know how to maximize the assignment problem. Yeah, look at here. There are some cases in which you have to maximize the problem. Example, profit or anything like revenues which needs maximization. So instead of cost us or time, you are having revenue or profit. In such cases, to solve such a problem, we find the opportunity loss matrix. So we have to find the opportunity loss matrix. This is very important. Once you find the opportunity loss matrix, the rest of the treatment is similar to minimization problem. So how to find opportunity loss matrix? So it will be found like subtracting the value of each cell from the largest value chosen from the amongst all the given cell. So in the cost matrix, you should identify the largest value, and from that largest value you will be subtracting all other values in the cost matrix. That's very simple. First you need to prepare a opportunity loss matrix, and to prepare opportunity loss matrix, you will find the largest value in the sub matrix, and from that the largest value will take a difference of each costes. So then you will have a opportunity loss matrix. So it means when you subtract highest value, it gives loss amount, whether it is profit or revenue. When you subtract from highest amount, it means it's a give loss amount. So based on that concept, we will solve this problem. Okay, so this is the problem we have, for which we have to make a maximization of assignment problem. So as we said you already, we have to prepare an opportunity loss matrix. To prepare opportunity loss matrix, we should identify the largest value in this matrix. So let us look into the largest value in the whole matrix. So here 40 is largest value, here is also 40, in the third row 41 is the largest value, and in the fourth row 41 is the largest value. Yes, of course, 41 is the largest value in this cost matrix, in this revenue matrix. Okay, so it means from 41 you should subtract all other values, then you will get opportunity loss matrix. So once you found opportunity loss matrix, you can make a minimize that problem. Okay, then after getting opportunity loss matrix, you can apply the same procedure as you applied in the minimization problem. See, this is the result that I have converted into minimization type by finding opportunity loss matrix. To find opportunity loss matrix, I have subtracted all the values from 41. 41 is the highest value in the given revenue matrix. So from 41 I have subtracted all other value. Let us look into the example. See, this is 32. 41 minus 32, it will be 9. Again This is 38. 41 minus 38, it will be 3. And this is 40. 41 minus 40, it is 1. In the same way, I have subtracted all other values here and taken a opportunity loss matrix. So now I can go for assignment problem Hungarian method. So once you prepared opportunity loss matrix, you can proceed as usually. That's the beauty of this maximization problem in assignment. Then we can apply Hungarian method as we apply to minimization problem. Okay, then let's go by step. So first step, we have to check whether it is squared matrix or not. Squared matrix means row equal to column. Number of rows are 5, number of columns are 5. So rows are equal to columns. It means it is a perfectly squared matrix. Let's go for second step, that's row reduction. As you know already, first we have to start from row. In the row, we have to identify the minimum. From that minimum value, we have to subtract all other values. So here I have taken row minimum. In the here, let us go back to the opportunity loss matrix. Here, look at here. Here one is row minimum, and here also one is row minimum. Here it is 0 is row minimum, and here again 0 is row minimum, and here 1 is row minimum. That is what I have taken here. So 1 1 0 0 and 1. This is a row minimum. From these things you will subtract all other values. Example, 9 minus 1 8, 3 minus 1 2, like that. 9 minus 1 8, 3 minus 1 2, and 1 minus 1, it would be 0. 12 minus 1, it would be 13 minus 1, it would be 12. Here it is 13, and 1 minus 1 is 0. Let's go back to the second row. Here it is 0 minus 1, here it is 1 minus 1, the result is 0. And here it is 17 minus 1, it is 16. Yes, here 13 minus 1, it is 12. And here it is 20 minus 1, and this is 19. So 5 is here, 5 minus 1, it is 4. Okay, and in the third and fourth column, row, there is a row minimum is 0. It means you don't have to subtract the values from 0. Even if you subtract from 0, the values will remain same. Okay, so look at here, for example, 0 minus 0 0, 14 minus 0 14 only. Okay, so I have taken directly 0 14 8 11 4, 0 14 8 11 4. Okay, here also 0 is row minimum, so I have taken same value, 193055, 193055. Okay, in the last row, that's 12 minus 1, it is 11. 8 minus 1, it is 7. 1 minus 1, 0. 6 minus 1, 5. 1 minus 1, 0. So in this way, look at here, it is 2 minus 1, 1. So in this way we obtained the row reduction. Now what you want to do? You want to make a column reduction. If you want to go make a column reduction, as usually, first you have to identify the minimum in the column. So here 0, look at here, 0 0, two values are there. 0 is minimum, here 2 is minimum, and here 0 is minimum. Here also, here is 5 is minimum, and here 0 is minimum. Okay, we identified the minimum value in each row. So that is what I have taken here, column minimum 0 2 0 5 0. Okay, so this is a resulting matrix after subtracting from the respected column minimum. So look at here, when the value is 0, you don't need to subtract, so you can take directly, as I said you already. So 800 19 11, 800 19 11. Okay, second one, 2 is minimum, so it means 2 minus 2, it would be 0, and 16 minus 2 would be 14, and 14 minus 2 would be 12. So 3 minus 2 would be 1, and 7 minus 2, it is 5. Okay, here in the third column, row minimum is 0, so you can take values as it is. So 0, 12, 8, 0, 0. And in the fourth column, the minimum is 12, so you have to subtract values from 5. So 12 minus 5, 7, 19 minus 5, 14, 6 minus 5, 6 minus 5, 11 minus 5, which is 6, 5 minus 5, which is 0, and again last 5 minus 5, which is 0. Okay, so let us go for last column. In the last column, column minimum is 0, so you can take values as it is. 0, 4, 4, 5, 1, 0, 4, 4, 5, 1. So by this way we have completed step 3. So now we have to proceed to step number 4. So in the step number 4, so we have to start with row. In the row we have to identify the single 0, and for that single 0 give a rectangle around that 0 and cross out all other columns. Cross out all other zeros in the column. So let's find out the single 0. Here 3 zeros are there. Yes, here single 0 is there. Single 0, and cross out all other zeros in the respective column. So here there are no zeros. Here there are 2 zeros. Here too there are 2 zeros. So we have completed step number 4.1. Then moving to step number 4.2. In the step number 4.2, you should start with column. In the column, find the single 0 in the single 0, and for that single 0 give a rectangle around that 0 and cross out all other zeros in the row. Okay, so in the first column there are no zeros. In the second column there is a 0. Okay, I have given a rectangle around this, and I have crossed out all other zeros in the row. Okay, next I will come here. There are 2 zeros here. We can't perform this. There are 2 zeros here too, and there are no zeros here. 1 0 is here. There is it is crossed out. So we have completed step 4.2 also. Now we will proceed to step number 4.3. What step number 4.3 says? You should select. You should start with row and select any 0 arbitrarily and cross out all other 0. Okay, let us look at here. We have made 2 assignment in the column and row procedure, and look at here. I will start from row. There are no zeros here, and there are no zeros here, and there is a 0 which is striken out, and here it is a 0 and given a rectangle around it and striked out this 0. Okay, I started in 4th row and given rectangle around this 0 arbitrarily and cross out other zeros. Okay, in the next row, yes, here there are 2 zeros. I will give rectangle for this 0 to ensure only one assignment in each column and each row. If I give a rectangle around this, there will be 2 assignment for this. So I will give assignment for this and cross out other 0. So after performing 4.3 step, now you should ensure whether it is a optimal solution. That is in the 4.4 step number 4.4. To ensure optimal solution, the number of rows must be equal to number of assignment. Okay, number of rows must be equal to number of assignment. In this case there are 5 rows and number of assignment 1 2 3 4. Okay, 5 rows are there, 5 rows and 5 column, and 4 assignments are there. So which means 5 is lesser than 4, which means rows are greater than assignment. Okay, so this is not a optimal assignment, so we have to proceed for step 5. Since we are unable to find optimal assignment in the step number 4, 1 2 3 4, we moved further for step number 5. So in the step number 5, you have to complete step number 5.1, 5.2, 5.3 and 5.4. Okay, now I have I have broadly explained these steps in the earlier lectures. In this lecture I will brief it. So what does step number 5.1 says is, so tick mark the rows in which assignment has not made. So you have to tick mark the rows where assignment has not made. Look at the first row, yes, assignment is made. The second row is also assignment is made. In the third row, assignment is not made. Yes, tick mark that row in which assignment has not made. In the fourth row, there is an assignment. Assignment means there is an rectangle around the 0, and in the fifth row is also assignment is made. So that is 5.1, assignment is made. And second 5.2 says tick mark columns which have zeros in marked rows. Okay, tick mark columns which have zeros in marked rows. Example, I have ticked mark here. No, yeah, yes, I have ticked mark here. Yeah, here I have to check tick mark columns which have zeros in the marked rows. So I have marked here in which I have to search zeros. Yes, here there is no 0, no 0, no 0, no 0. Yes, here it is 0. Then I have to tick mark this column. The step 5.2 says tick mark columns which have zeros in marked row. I have marked here. So in the marked row I should search for 0. So there is only 1 0 in the first column. Now I have ticked this. So then 5.2 is over. Now 5.3, tick mark rows which have assignments in marked columns. So again I have to check here whether there is an assignment in this ticked mark. Look at here. Yes, in the second row there is assignment. I should tick mark this. Okay, that is about 5.3. What does it says? Tick mark rows which have assignments in marked columns. I have marked here now. In that marked columns, I should check whether there is an assignment. If there is an assignment, I should tick mark that row. So I have marked this row. So this tick mark is 5.3, and this tick mark is 5.1, and this tick mark is 5.2. So after doing so, the step 5.4 says draw a straight line through all unmarked rows and marked columns. This is very important. Draw a straight line through all unmarked rows and marked columns. First you have to search for unmarked rows. Okay, here there are 2 marked rows, rest of the rows are unmarked rows. Okay, these 2, that is row 2, row 3 are marked rows, and row 1, row 4 and 5 are unmarked rows. So I have to draw a straight line. This is unmarked row, and 4th row is also unmarked row, and 5th row is also unmarked row. Marked means I have ticked my right mark here. So except that rows I have marked all, and along with that, and tick mark columns which has marked. Okay, here only 1 column is marked. I should also tick mark this. So I have tick marked this. So this is about step number 5. 1 2 3 4. So we have completed step number 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, 5.4. So after this you should move to step number 6. So step number 6 says revise the cost matrix. That is very important. in the step number 6 you have to revise the cost matrix. But very importantly, you should take note, to revise cost matrix you should find the smallest element not covered by any lines. Look at here, you should find the smallest element which is not covered by any lines. So except these lines, marked lines, you should find the smallest element. Okay, then this is uncovered area 14, 12, 14, 4. This is 4 is smallest in this uncovered area, and here 12, 8, 6, 4. Okay, 4 is least value in the uncovered areas. So this 4 is smallest element and which is not covered by any lines. So this is step number 6.1, and step number 6.2 says subtract this from all uncovered elements. So from 4 you have to subtract all other values where the area is not covered, which means uncovered. Example 14, 12, 14, 4, 4, 12, 8, 6, 4, 4 are uncovered area. Uncovered area means those things are not covered by any lines. So there you should subtract by that smallest element, and other elements covered by lines remain unchanged. So here there are lines, no? So these are lines. Here values must not be changed. And one more thing, other elements covered by lines must not be changed, and at the intersection you should add. At uncovered area you should subtract, at intersection you should add. This is intersection. Intersection means the place where two lines are meeting together. 8 is intersection and 19 is intersection and 11 is intersection. In the intersection you should add, in the uncovered area you should subtract, and in the lines covered area must remain same. So this is what the step number 5.6.123 says. Okay, now let's move to this. Okay, smallest area element is 4, and this is what intersection I will add here. 4.4 plus 8 plus 4, 12. Look at here, this is 12, and these are covered area covered by lines, and which are not intersection, so it must remain same. That is 0, 0, 7, 0. 0, 0, 7, 0. It is remain same. And in the second one, this is 0 covered by line, and it will remain same, 0. Okay, and here it is uncovered area. These are uncovered area. In the uncovered area we should subtract from the smallest element, from this smallest element. So 14 minus 4, that's 10. 14 minus 4, 10, and 12 minus 4, 8. Okay, next 14 minus 4, 10. Next 4 minus 4, that exactly 0. I have subtracted from where there are uncovered area. Okay, and I will come to this. Okay, here 0 remains same because which is covered by lines and it is not intersection, so which remains same. And here 12 which is uncovered area. 12 minus 8, 4, 8, and 8 minus 4, that is 4, and 6 minus 4, that is 2, and 4 minus 4, that exactly 0. Okay, next, so 19 is an intersection. In the intersection we should add that smallest element. 19 plus 4, which means 23, and rest of the values will remain same because those things are covered by lines. So 1, 0, 0, 5. 1, 0, 0, 5. Let's move to the last row. So 11, it is an intersection. There are two lines are met together. So 11 plus 4, 15, and remaining values will remain same. Remaining value 5001, 5001. This is how you revise the cost matrix. Okay, so after revising cost matrix, now you should start the procedure. Procedure from step number 4. Okay, step number 1 is to check the square matrix. Step number 2 is to reduce row reduction. Step number 3 is column reduction, which is already done and no need to do it again. The step number 7 says repeat the procedure until you get the optimal solution. So to get optimal solution after making revised cost matrix, we are starting from step number 4. Okay, step number 4 says, so starting from row, you have to identify the zeros, single zero. Okay, and cross give a rectangle around that and cross other zeros in the column. So here there are 3 zeros are there, we cannot do that. So here there is here 1 0, here 1 0, 2 zeros are there, and here 2 zeros are there again, and here 2 zeros, 2 zeros. We cannot perform for row wise. Let's try in column wise. Okay, look at here, there are 2 zeros are here, we cannot perform this, and here we have 1 0, 1 0, and in the when you find the 0 in the column and given rectangle around it, strike other values in the corresponding row. Okay, strike a note, cross it out. Okay, I will try in second third row. So there are 2 zeros are there again, we cannot perform this, and there are 2 zeros in the fourth row column also, and there are 2 zeros in the fifth column also. Then step number 4.1, 4.2 is over. Now you should start the step number 4.3. 4.3 says you should start with row, find any zeros arbitrarily and give a rectangle around that and cross out other zeros. Okay, I will start from here. One assignment is made, other 2 zeros are crossed out, and here there is an 0. Okay, don't worry about single zero in step number 4.3, just find it out. Yes, I have given an assignment. Okay, and I am going to cross out other zeros in this row only. And in the third row, yes, there is 0 and there is also 0, but I won't give rectangle to this because in this column we have given an assignment. So to ensure there is only one assignment for one column, so I will give a rectangle for this and strike out this 0. And coming to fourth row, yes, 2 zeros are there, I will give rectangle to this 0 and cross out this 0. Okay, again coming to fifth row, 2 zeros are there again, I won't give rectangle here again to ensure only one assignment in column. Okay, already there is an assignment in this column, so I will give rectangle here and cross out this 0. Okay, now after the step number 4.3, in the step number 4.4 you should check whether there is an optimal solution, optimal allocation. The optimal allocation means there must be number of rows must equal to number of allocation. So there are 5 rows are here, rows and columns are 5 here, and let us check the assignment. 1 2 3 4 5, and there are 5 assignments also there, and along with that you should check only one assignment for each row and column. In the first column one assignment is there, one assignment means one rectangle around 0, and here also one assignment. In the third column also one assignment, fourth column also one assignment, fifth column also one assignment. Let's check in row wise. Yes, here one assignment, here also in the second row also one assignment, in the third row also one assignment, fourth row also one assignment, fifth row also one assignment. Then this is the optimal allocation. Optimal allocation. So after making optimal allocation, you should check the respected values. Okay, so which means salesman 1 allotted to B district, salesman 2 allotted to A district, salesman 3 allotted to E district, salesman 4 allotted to C district, salesman 5 allotted to D district. There is no overlapping allocation here. Only one salesman allotted to one district. So one task must be handled by one person. This is a basic concept in assignment problem. So let us look at here. One salesman B district, exactly here. Second salesman A district, 2A. Third salesman E district, 3E. Fourth salesman C district, 4C. And fifth salesman to D district. Okay, to know the estimated revenue, you should go back to the original problem. There the estimated revenue is there, and you can take from that problem. Okay, let's move to the original problem. Look at here, salesman 1 allotted to B district, which means the revenue of salesman 1 in the B district is 38. Salesman 2 is allotted to A district, which means same thing. The revenue for salesman 2 in the A district is 40. 40 given in 1000 value, 40,000 means that salesman 3 allotted for E, which means 37,000, and salesman 4 allotted to C, 41,000. Salesman 5 allotted to D. Okay, so 38, 40, 37, 41, 35. Same thing, 38, 40, 37, 41, 35. So if you add all together, which is total revenue in this 5 salesman in 5 district is 191,000. 191,000. So this is how you will make maximization in assignment problem. So we made a right attempt to make it easy. So please subscribe to my Vision Academy YouTube channel to know more.